Hey, good morning. It's really cold out there. We got snow and I got my little snowman coffee cup. I hope you're all doing good this morning. Hey, let's get with some interesting things I got to show you. Oh, right. Oh, hold on a minute. I got to get this chuck off here. Find the key for it. I'm going to leave it on there if I can't find the key, but I will look around for it, see if I can find what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple things. This is a loud piece of wood there. All right. Now, if you're going to buy one of these machines, I want to show you something. Take a look at the edge of this carriage here. You see that? Look at it. Just like that. Let's look at the top of the dial here. See that? On these edges. Look at that. See that? Let's look back here. Let's look at the top of the carriage. Or this saddle wing. Okay, look at it up here. This is for a back tool. They put these on some of the tool maker lathes. Okay, see that? Look at these edges. You see this step. Okay, now let's go over here. I'm gonna grab the brush here. Brush the wood chips are and clean both these up right here. Look at this edge here. Got a few little dings on it, but you see how sharp that edge is? See these edges? See the top here? Now this thing was used as a shelf. People put stuff on it. That's why it's got most of the dings on it. It wasn't used a lot. It just kind of got dinged around a bunch. Okay. Then that inner way, I don't know if you can see here. There's like no ridge. Really, nowhere. I see a few marks that are kind of developing in it, but hardly anything. I can't notice any inaccuracy. But it's this. See the sharp edges. Let's run back over here and look at this. Oh, looks like hamburger, doesn't it? Yeah. See that? Not too bad here, really. You know, this was used by professionals. Not all completely chewed up. So I want to point that out. Now, people will try to take and sand that ridge out and try to clean this up as much as possible. But you can see how far they'd have to go to make the edges sharp, and they won't. And then you can see those bad dings. You know, this you can't really take down. It's very difficult, you know. And if it looks like it's all freshly ground, that would be very suspect too on an older machine. I just thought I'd point some of these things out. Even on this lever here, just years and years of running steel across this thing, rounded all these edges up, dropping tools on it, and even here. So I'll go over here and have a look again. See how this stuff's, the edges are sharp, the levers aren't battered up. See? At some point, you can see on this really fine machine here, somebody put a pair of water pump pliers on it trying to shift it. When the directions tell you, you have to shift this first. So things happen to machines, you know. Sometimes on the end of a bed, they'll use it as an anvil. That's really common there. But I thought I'd point that out. If you're looking at these machines, and also the drive system, you're going to have to make a decision there. Now, this machine here is just really, really worn, but the drive system's real good. More coffee there. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to make some kind of decision what to do with this machine in the long run. I've thought about moving this drive into a lathe that cut threads and is in better shape, and I might do that. But you can see this machine here. It's really kind of nice for me to show this. And I've learned a lot of things from a machine tool dealer that was nearby here. And he sold machines. His style was like HGR. He got machines in from, you know, wherever he bought them, auctions and stuff like that. He didn't even plug them in. He just sat them down and put a price on them. And he looked at the very thing I showed you, like the carriage, okay? Now, I'm gonna move that Axelson in place of this machine here. And I bought that, it was actually, that GoPro shut off again. But I was talking about buying that Axelson. And it was the least expensive geared head lathe of that size on the entire internet. It was $3,200, and he had it on Yoder sold it, and they had it on eBay, and it's more of an as-is thing, you know. It was something that had a bit of wear on it, this and that, but it had a stinky full of stinky oil. It was really dirty, and they just didn't want to clean it up, you know, so they sold it very cheap, and it was really kind of a bargain. And they had good digital pictures, and one of the things I could see was the condition of the top of the carriage. And it's an 80-year-old machine, but it's not nearly as beat up as this. See? So I could see that the lathe wasn't in too horrible of condition. And I'm looking forward to getting it in here and using it. And something else caught my attention too. We're talking about, I've mentioned about overloading the machine and stuff like that. And you're gonna have to just kind of make a decision on your own machine. How much RPM drop you think is tolerable before the machine gets hot. And in a little bit, I'm gonna show you a motor generator that did get hot and what happened. This is one is right here. Now this here is like 4140. See that? See that? It's very difficult to break chips with the power that these machines have. It really puts a load on them. So I end up with the bird's nest. But I got a big pair of pliers, and I just grab it as it's forming and just pull it off and throw it on the floor or just get it out of there. But you got to watch out and not get cut by that stuff. But what I'm saying is the machine does not have enough power to make perfect number 9 chips. Cutting 4140, that gummy stuff is just not going to happen. You know, you're going to damage the machine. So you got to watch the load on the machine. Now, this machine here is the vacuum tube, and it's got a load compensating circuit, and I've kind of demonstrated that before, and it goes when when it's running at 200 RPM where you set it at. Now, you don't want to go past the ability of that properly adjusted circuit. That's one of the adjustments you have. On this machine, I suggest no RPM drop. Now over here, I'm trying to think, you know, what I do. I would not tolerate probably more than 50 RPM drop on the tack. I'd be going, no, I better back off a little bit, but I want to preserve the thing, you know. So that's one thing I wanted to get into. And I'm going to go downstairs to the drafting table and try to figure out how to fit that Axelson in here, and that might be interesting. And I'll show you what I'm using the old motor generator that's burned out for. Well, I'm using it as a phase converter, but I can show you what happens if you overload one, okay? So I'll see you down there. Hey, I think that's pretty good, maybe. Let me move a little closer here. Ooh. Hang on. Okay. Now this is the garage out there. Here's the door. When you walk in the door, here's the mill. To the left is a steel bench. Here's Monarch EE1 and Monarch EE2. There's toolboxes, a jig borer, a sun and hone in that corner, and a cutter grinder. So what I got to do is move in this Axelson lathe. So, okay, we're going to eject Monarch 10EE2. We'll get the toolboxes out of the way and probably split them up. Maybe only be able to use one. I can leave the steel bench where it is. We'll take EE1 and set it here. I'll take and put the mill in this corner, and the jig borer, I will slide it over here and kind of have the sun and hone, no, cutter grinder in here somewhere, maybe like that, and sun and hone, maybe something like that. I don't know. Yeah. No, goofed up. Forgot to put the Axelson in. Okay, the Axelson goes here, and the sun and hone will kind of go somewhere in here. Something like that. Yeah, that's it. Looks good. So everything kind of has to shift around. And I'll tell you something, I'll move these. Now the mill is sitting right here, just like that. And the mill's the heaviest machine. It weighs 5,000 pounds, and it's on the weakest part of the floor, and I keep jacking it up in the front here. So I got to get that out of here and putting that over here, and putting the EE in this corner like that. I'll get everything off that except the sun and hone, which doesn't weigh very much. Okay, that is that. That'll work good for there. Okay, let's go over here. I want to show you something. Over here. Get around this stuff down here in my little wood shop. What a mess. Things are getting better though. Lots better down here. Okay. Now this here is the old motor generator that was in that older Monarch 10EE. And here, I think you can see it, should be able to, I'll look through. I'll rotate this commutator here, and you'll see where it burned a couple of bars out. I went and polished it, just and I removed all the brush holders here. See, there would be brush holders with 4 brushes running on this thing. Okay, and also I don't have a light, but back in here on the windings it burned a hole through it, and that's from overloading, you know, just heavy overloading. It just cooked this motor generator unit. So the way this is built, this is the generator end, and it's a single armature. There's a generator on this end, and then over on this end is the three-phase motor. So it's got the rotor for the three-phase and the windings for the motor generator on a single armature. Okay, so that's how that works. Now I'm using this as my phase converter. I've juggled around some balance capacitors in this box. I don't know, I don't think it works very well. I made one guy mad thinking that way, but I don't think it makes that much difference. But anyway, I did that, went through all that, and this is my phase converter. The motor generator is a 3450 RPM motor. It's a high-speed motor. And one old machine tool dealer says that a high-speed motor gives a better phase angle. Long time ago. But I'll tell you what, this thing's spinning so fast, and that armature is extremely heavy. I don't know, it has to weigh 50 pounds at least. But without a load on it, it doesn't draw that much current, and it absorbs the what do they call that, the draw or something that the power companies charge you for with the smart meters. This will absorb, like for instance, the Brown and Sharp mill does not have a clutch but a 5-horse motor, and every time you start that, yeah, the power company will charge you for that. It's picked up by the smart meter. But this thing running, it absorbs that energy, and you don't get nailed so much for that rush charge or whatever they call that. I don't know. But hey, I'm going to start this up. Let's start it up. And I got this little knob on the end here, and I always give it a kick just to get it spinning. See it spinning? Then I flip the switch here. Down below here is just a static phase converter that starts this. Okay? Flip the switch, and now it's running. And it's really quite a quiet, balanced engine for a motor. And I have it right here. This is a 5-horsepower 3-phase table saw, and this here is a 5-horsepower 3-phase spindle molder woodworker. Then I got a 2-horse Paramatic 3-phase saw there. So I got three 3-phase machines here. And then I run a line out to the garage out there to run those machines. Okay, well, I'm going to head back out there, and I'll see you there. Hey, back out here in my little shack. I kicked on my rubber band and haywire together phase converter, and I got a green light here. That means it's on, and hopefully will keep me from forgetting to shut that off because it's very quiet. Okay, now what's happened is I got this milling machine in here, and this is receiving intensive care. And I almost got it done, and I got a few little things to do with it. But next, and that'll easily be handled. And so it's getting moved to the corner over there. And I mentioned that this is the worst part of the floor. This is like, let me grab a broom over here. Messy little place it always is. But you make a mess when you're having this kind of fun. See if I can find it. It's cracking the floor pretty good. Yeah, right through here, see? You can see my crack? So this thing is sinking. And I've been prying it up and jamming pieces of metal in it. So I want to get this over in that opposite corner. And I know this floor is solid where the two double E's are because I had a Lodge and Shipley power turn that weighed more than 10,000 pounds, maybe 12,000 pounds. And it took the full length of this with the hydraulic unit at the end of it for the Copymatic, what do they call it, tracer, Copymatic tracer on that machine. But I had that in here, and I had a Bridgeport where this horizontal mill is sitting. And I remember having to re-level the Bridgeport every now and then, but this, the Brown and Sharp weighs more than twice as much, and it's really crunching the floor pretty good, so I'm gonna do something pretty quick. I don't know if there's a sinkhole down there, you never know. So I'm gonna get that older EE moved out, this double E against that wall, and just shove that jig bore over, and then the Axelson will sit here, and that will be the patient, the next patient. I've got a whole lot done to it outside, but when I get it in here, I'll make that thing shine and run like a top. It's an older machine that has some bedwear, but it's got good sweet spots on it. And I bought that lathe after rescuing this horizontal mill and the radial drill press that more speed out there. So I'm gonna take care of the Axelson and then the more speed if I stay here and expand, or if I find a bigger shop, which would really be nice. And I don't want that many more machines. And you see, I've got these machines kind of stacked in a small area, and the advantage to that is it's like 20 degrees outside right now, and it is about 67 degrees in here. So if you don't have good heat and stuff like that, the jig board goes completely out of whack, and the other machines you're not going to get the accuracy out of you may want, and then it's very unpleasant to run cold machines. Okay, well, that's the plan, and I showed a few tips on looking at these machines if you're going to kick out the money, you know, what to look for. And just really be aware there's a lot of shysters out there that are looking to make a buck off these and put crappy drives in them and stuff. There's one outfit that's got some high dollar ones that look new. Don't buy a paint job, you know. Really look close. It's a lot of money what they're asking, and you don't want to buy my old wreck in the corner there with a very nice paint job on it, you know. It'd be very easy to fool somebody with that machine. But that machine has considerable value, that the original drive is intact. And we'll set that aside later, but go ahead and rebuild the drive. Okay, that's the plan. Have a good Sunday.